Priorities are what is most important to you, or what you deem to be the most important given a certain scenario or context. It is your personal system of triage. What do you need to take care of first? When you're in a morally complex situation or need to choose one thing over another, how do you make that decision? It's your priorities, informed by your values and your principles, that help you come to that conclusion. How you set your priorities is mostly based in logic, but also informed by emotion. You care about multiple important things, and figuring out which one takes precedence and in which situations requires logic. And for the really tough choices, if logic isn't enough, you have to go back to instinct and intuition. I found when talking about relationships, work, politics especially, putting everything in terms of priorities is extremely helpful. You and someone else might disagree on everything in general, but you end up agreeing on that one thing that is most important to you both. You share that as your priority. Or you might be on the same page as someone and agree about pretty much everything, but when it comes down to it, you choose different priorities and it sets you at odds. What is most important, and can you see the common ground in either case? Even if you disagree in general or about priorities, don't make the mistake of assuming someone is morally opposite to you. This is another layer of nuance to your moral compass. Your priorities shape your opinions and behavior because they're what you focus on. They stem from your values and principles. So if you share the same values and principles with someone, you are more likely to share similar priorities, but not necessarily the exact same ones. When you look at your personal values and principles, how do you decide what to do if they conflict? This is why those deep moral questions are important to think about. It's not necessarily about coming up with the right answer, but about practicing making hard decisions, weighing the pros and cons consciously, and understanding how you come to a conclusion about what is a pro and what is a con. That takes introspection. Being able to say in a hypothetical situation, I think I would do this. I think I would prioritize this over that. It takes time and practice to become that familiar with yourself. A married couple might have very similar values of family, a stable home, career security, but their priorities might be very different about the order they should do those things in. One might want to start a family right away and work on everything else as they grow together. The other might want that financial and career security before even thinking about starting a family. And I think more communication around priorities could clear up so many issues in relationships. Practically speaking, your standards and priorities are how you apply your values and principles based on your unique perspective. People can prioritize different things in any situation and still share values and principles. It just means they're deciding what is most important differently from each other. And once you understand it in those terms, you can work through it. You can talk about it easier. You can communicate better. You can apply logic, and you can actually talk about coming to a collective conclusion. Articulating these things can be really difficult for some people. So the next time you have a disagreement, or if there's something that's bothering you, put it in terms of priorities. Lay out all the things you both care about, then ask yourselves, what is most important and why? You don't need to force agreement on your priorities, but you should try to understand the other's perspective. It can really bring clarity and respect to a lot of dicey arguments. And thinking of morality, what's most important? If you disagree with someone about a whole bunch of different things, but in one way you really agree with them, how do those things weigh against each other? If there's something you consider immoral about a person, but there are other qualities that you consider very moral, how much human complexity is acceptable? How do you determine if someone is a good person in your eyes? Priorities and how you rank them are another layer of personalization for your moral compass. So hopefully this was helpful. Just like standards, these things can apply to relationships, life, work, entertainment, everything. Start noticing your priorities and the priorities of others. And notice your priorities for entertainment. What's most important to you about a story? What are you looking for? Figuring out your priorities and how they might change in different contexts can help you organize and take control of your life. All right, that's it for now. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful. Bye, guys.